What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Garry's Mod Game Mode Scripting. In this part, as well as the next couple of parts, we're going to be working on an upgrade menu for the Barricade entity. And all this upgrade menu is going to do for us is show us some information about it, as well as allow the player to upgrade the base health or the starting health for that Barricade. So, before we get into working on that, I want to go ahead and fix a little issue we have that is within our concommands.lua file, and that is due to this line right here. So what we're doing here is checking to see if the amount of entities spawned of that certain type for that player is less than the ent.limit. And the issue with this is that some of our entities will not have a ent.limit variable. And that is just the case with the Barricade entity. We do not have an ent.limit variable. So what we want to do here in order to alleviate that issue is just to check within this if statement in our concommands.lua file is if exclamation point for not is valid. And in here we want to go ahead and throw ent.limit. Then after that, or. So if ent.limit is not valid, then we want to go ahead and still run this code. Or, if the end count is less than ent.limit, go ahead and run the code as well. Otherwise, just completely skip past it. So that'll go ahead and fix any errors if you were getting any when spawning entities from that shop menu. So you can go ahead and close out of the concommands.lua file once you get that done. And let's go ahead and move on to our init.lua file for the Barricade entity. And first thing we want to do here is put something within our ent::initialize function for the Barricade, which is just going to be self::set use type, and this will be simple underscore use. So whenever they use or press the use key, it'll only go ahead and call it once per click. So instead of constantly calling it as long as it's down, it'll go ahead and only do it once until they re-click again. So once that is done, we want to go ahead and add another function here, right above the ent::think function, or wherever you think would be best for it. So, and this function is function, ent::use, takes in two arguments, the activator, and then the caller. And let's go ahead and end that. And before we fill that out with any code, I want to go ahead and put one line of code right above this function, which is util.add network string. And I'm going to call this network string open barricade menu. Now what we want to do is, within our use function, we want to go ahead and check to see if the caller is equal to self.owner. And just like any if statement, we want to put a then on the end, and also end it off. So what this is going to do for us is it's going to check to see if the caller, and what this caller argument is it's just the entity that directly triggered this ent::use function. So whichever entity that is, we want to go ahead to see if they are indeed the owner of the entity that they are using or clicking on. So if they are the owner of that entity, then we want to go ahead and do net.start. We want to go ahead and start the open barricade menu net message. And once that is done, we want to go ahead and actually send this. So we want to do net.send. We want to go ahead and send this to the caller. So once that is done, we can go ahead and now, anywhere in our code, receive this net message. We want to go ahead and receive it within our cl_init.lua file. So let's go ahead and do that now. So right below this ent::draw function, let's just do net.receive. And we want to go ahead and receive the open barricade menu message. And that's just the name of the message that we have here, or the network string that we have here, which we created in our init.lua file. And then we want to do a comma, function, and then again, just like any function, we want to end it off. Now all that we're going to do in here is we are just going to be checking, or not checking, we're going to be creating another D frame, so local upgrade menu equals vgui.create D frame. I just want to set some values for this, so upgrade menu :set pause, we'll put it at 0, 0. Upgrade menu :set size, I'm going to set this to 500 by 375. And then we want to go ahead do upgrade menu :center it, so it'll be smack dab in the center of our screen. And then we want to set the title for it. So upgrade menu colon set title. And I'm going to set the title to Barricade upgrade menu. And then we want to go ahead set whether or not the player can drag this thing around. So I do upgrade menu colon set draggable. And since I do not want the player to be able to drag the menu around, and I always want it to be smack dab in the center of the screen, I'm going to set this to false, so they can't do that. Then upgrade menu colon show close button. And I'm going to set this to true because I do want the player to be able to close this upgrade menu by clicking the little X in the top right hand corner of this D frame. After that, we want to set it to be visible, so upgrade menu colon set visible to true. And then upgrade menu colon make pop up, so it pops up. And then lastly, upgrade menu dot paint, and set this equal to function, and then end that function. So all I want to do in here is make this look a little bit more unique to our game mode, and not the default look of the D frame, which in my opinion is not so appealing. So let's go ahead and do a draw.rounded box. The first argument is the corner radius. I'm going to set this to 3, so we have a little bit of curvature to the corners of this rounded box. The X position, 0. The Y, 0. The width of it is just going to be the width of the upgrade menu, so upgrade menu colon get wide. Then the height of it, upgrade menu colon get tall. Then the color of it, I'm just going to make it a dark gray once again. Then the last thing that we want to draw is another rounded box. And this will just act as a 1 pixel border that'll go ahead and separate the title of this Derma menu from the content below it. So I'm going to set the corner radius to 0, the X value to 0, and I want to go ahead and move the Y value down to about 24. And that is a fairly good position for the content to be separated at. And since this is just going to be a border, I want this to be the complete width of that upgrade menu, and then just a height of 1 pixel. And I'll set the color to 255 all across the board for a solid white. So let's go ahead and save that, head into game now. And once we get into game here, we can go ahead, press F4, spawn in that barricade entity, and once we press E on it, you can see that we get that D frame popping up with the title we set and that border separating it, along with the close button, which when we press that X, it will go ahead and close it. And we can keep doing that, and when it's open, we can't move around, we can't click out of it, but when we close it, everything returns back to normal. So that right there will conclude part A of the Barricade upgrade menu. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.